Let's bump it up to 2-second exposure. We're going to do that gradually. And we're going to take another dark field correction after. Okay, sounds good, Jack. Here we are at here we are at 2-second exposure at the moment. Okay, sounds good. Let's go back and do that again. We're going to go back to 1 second exposure, and the scope is a 6-inch at f9. This is f9 at the moment. No focal reducers. I don't think so. I don't think that I am perfectly focused. Mind you, I should try to increase it. The zoom here to. Yeah, we could do that. Hang on. Just a sec. We're gonna bump that up here and try to find. I know we're gonna see a lot of squares and ugliness happening here. That's okay. Let's go to 2 seconds to get a little bit brighter stars, and I'm gonna try to get the. Actually, no, we're pretty close. Oh, this is good. Okay, I'm going to bump this up to, hang on guys, I don't know. What's a good number? 8 seconds? Yeah, why not? Let's go to 8 seconds. Hang on, let me lower the adjustment here. Bear with me for a moment, guys. Oh, this is 150. What the hell am I talking about? All right, hang on. We were at 61%. Okay, this is F10, F9. And we're going to bump that up to, I don't know, 15 seconds or so at F9. Yeah, there's no dark field correction enabled at the moment. We're going to have to take new ones because the sky is now clear and darker, I hope. Hang on a sec, guys. Just bear with me here for a moment. This is 15 seconds at F9. No focal reducer is used. Reason you're seeing lines, these are, we did adjustment during the capture, so you got odds and even line from the interline chip. Okay, hang on a sec. We are going to change the value of the histogram. Just a sec there, folks. There you go. And we're going to lower the gain as well. So hang on. Let me work on this. Yeah, the gain's at 5 at the moment, so we're going to lower that down to about 3. That's close enough. There you go. And we are still at 15 seconds exposure at f9 6-inch scope. We're not perfectly focused, but that'll do for now. And of course, we're going to switch that to, let's wait for the next refresh here. I'm just wondering if we're going to pick up colors. Yeah, it's more forgiving for the tracking. If your mount doesn't track that well or it has periodic error, video idea is to go shortest as possible. It is for live observing, not imaging. We're not imaging here tonight. Mind you, I just got to hit one button and it will take a picture. This is the easiest way to take a picture. But here's the thing. This is live observing. It replaces an eyepiece. Okay, let me see now. Yeah, we're not perfectly focused, I could tell, but nonetheless, what I wanted to do, yes, that's what I wanted to do. Okay, let's switch that to color and see what's going to happen. Stars here, that's pretty nice. This is nice, not bad at all. And now we're tracking, so we'll be able to increase the, there you go, we just switched to color mode. And now we're going to go with higher, much higher, 15 seconds. How about if we go 30-second exposure? All right. Let's see what kind of result we're going to get. And then I'm going to take 2 dark frames, or dark field correction in this case, because it is an interline chip. And we're going to remove all those hot pixels, AMPLO, and everything else associated with it. So stand by for a minute. We're just going to wait for the refresh, the next image to appear. There you go. Again, the lines are there because I did the adjustment while we're taking an exposure. We didn't stop the exposure. So the next time an image shows up after the exposure, all the lines will be gone because the odd and even line will be lined up. You don't get that effect using an exterminator or the XT418 or the 428 or any of the real video camera. This is more of a video imager. It's both. If you want, Steve, I could hook up my XT428, which is very similar to this camera here. In fact, that's what we're going to do. We're going to put the Peltier-cooled camera on, and we're going to compare the exposures. Yeah, me too, Steve. See, in video mode, you need to have fairly short exposures because this is what visual observing is all about. But F9 is very slow. You need to have like an F4, F3, F4, or F5, that neck of the woods. And that's what you want to get the best results. So right now I'm taking 2 dark field correction to remove some of the artifacts. This is something you don't have with the exterminator because it is done live internally of the camera. Everything's in the camera. Here we're using a computer to operate the camera. So we just got to wait here to get 2 sequences, like 2 dark field correction done. And oh crap, I can't do that. I forgot to cover the scope. Hang on a sec, guys. I forgot to cover the scope. Uh-oh. If you hear this thing beat, because frankly I can't hear the beat,
Yeah.
that means it's time to flip it.
Oh,
And it's going to be there. It's going to be there in a few minutes. I'm surprised we get to see that well, actually, at F9. I still see colors and... So hang on, I got to cover the scope, which I just did, and we're going to take 2 dark frames. Yes, it is, and it makes the object look a lot smaller and wider field of view, Steve. Focal reducer will give you up to 50% more field of view, but the object's going to look smaller, but it's going to be brighter as well, and you cut down your time, the exposure time. If you want higher resolution, you go at full aperture, basically, F9 in this case, or F10 if you got a spin Cassegrain. All right, let's wait for the correction. Hang on a sec. We're going to take a series of 2. No, you don't sacrifice sharpness, that's for sure. And I'm about to show you that with the other camera, Steve, with the XT428, which is very similar to the Exterminator. What's the frame number? Come on, it's going to change. I got to wait till this to be gone before I initiate the capture. Right. There you go. Boom. Hey, good day, Glenn. How are you?
How's she doing? Hmm?
Stop talking to the other egg, so I think it has to come out. It's not even yet.
Yes.
Trick Gene taught me.
Huh?
It's a trick Gene taught me. If you bang on it and prick your ear, you should hear something in there. If it's like
Yeah, close.
ready to. Okay, Mama. Yeah, you can start moving around tomorrow, babies. You know that there.
Okay, I'm going to enable the dark frame subtraction, and you're going to see the benefit of it while leaving the scope covered. Is this thing working? Yep. Sounds good. I'm just checking, Bob, because 2 nights ago it kept crashing all the time. Yeah, there you go. This is the next frame with the, You don't want to pick it up? Okay. Okay, you just lift it with your finger. It's not snapping. There you go. Thank you. And put this right in the middle. All right, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Okay, we took the cover off. And the dark frame you're seeing now, it removed everything. Ambro, hot pixels, the whole works. So now the next picture should be M57 coming up. Again, this is 30 seconds. Yep. There you go. Now we took the cover off while the exposure was happening, which means you got to see odd or even field that hasn't completed the exposure of either fields. This is only happening with the Skyraider series camera that are interlaced. You won't get that effect with a Exterminator or XT418 or the 428. Yeah, wait till you see the background. It's going to be a lot nicer, and Don't forget, this is F9. There's no focal reducer, folks. And it's a 6-inch. I should change that. 6-inch. F/9. There. It's coming, guys. Hang on. Got to wait for the refresh to come back. I'm surprised to see colors in the stars at F9 because the system is a lot slower now. Image brightness going to be a lot less, and we're still getting pretty neat colors out of it. So what I was talking about earlier at the beginning of the broadcast about signal to noise ratio, this is very important. I mean, you need to see stars, or mainly the object you're looking at, above the noise. We were down to a quarter of a second and still able to see M57. That's remarkable. What's the number of 41 to 42 will be the next thing. Although then, there you go, there you go. This is pretty cool. Now this is just a raw form of the image. There's no processing done or anything like that. There's no sharpness, no sharpening or anything like that. Okay.
Yeah, it's good work. Yeah, it's good.
It certainly does. For 6-inch, don't forget now, we're dealing with 6-inch here. And we can always flip that to grayscale. The background's nice and clean for what it is. 6-inch at F9. Very minor color noise. And that's because I have it set up where the saturation's down about 87, or I could probably turn it down about 75 actually. Actually, the default would be more than that. We didn't take the dark frame in black and white, so we're going to go back to color mode. Hang on a sec. Okay, just hang on. I went to the black and white mode, but the dark frame was taken in color. So I just went back to color mode. We just got to wait for the next refresh. And the subtraction, the correction, the dark field correction is going to take effect on the color section of the camera. We just got to wait for the next refresh. We got that running, we can close that, then we're going to go to the histogram. Where is it at? That's not bad. Now, here's what we can do. We're going to increase a little bit more noise, but we're going to increase the histogram now. Histogram was set at 0 and 255. I left it alone. Oh, that's correct there, Bob, yeah. Yeah, this is not the same, Rick. You're dealing directly at the digital point. When you use a micro slick with the exterminator, for example, or the XT series camera, you're dealing with the capture device and not the camera itself. But now I've saved those darks into a file. And we are just going to increase a little bit. This is only 2 dark field correction that I've taken. I should have taken it with the histogram set at a different level. There you go. There, that should do it. See, the histogram set too high, so now we're going to blow our dark field correction for no reason at all. simply because the histogram is set a little bit too high. So we're going to go back to default on the histogram, and you're going to see the image become a lot nicer. Hang on a sec. It's going to return to what it should be. We'll turn up the gain a little bit, maybe 2.5, give or take. Yeah, you can save all your favorite settings at the bottom into a folder. And it's called parameters. It's under the parameters. Well, those adjustments will be, say when you boot up the camera next time, everything will be loaded up right away. I'm just playing with the adjustment to demonstrate here basically what we're going through step by step. We're still at 30 seconds exposure here at f9. That's quite remarkable for 6-inch. Yes, it is, Bob. Absolutely right on that. I just reset back the histogram to its default value, which is 0 and 255. Yeah, we can actually. Yeah, see, the green box doesn't bother me because I shut it off after. But there's a few ways to do it. Here, let me show you. You can slide this green box any way you want. You can bring it in the corner or whatever you want. But the idea is once you've got your camera adjusted, you know you can open that up. You can make it very, very small and try to drag it somewhere. All right. There we go. You can make it to very little if you wish. Okay, there we go now. Or you could make it super big. So it's up to you. For me, it doesn't bother me at all because I'm not observing the damn square. I'm looking at the object. So for me, it doesn't bother me at all. Once I've got my adjustment done, I shut it off and everything is fine. Oh, no, it's not. It's the whole thing. Kevin, no, it's the whole thing. When you go on there, basically it's the whole thing. The reason they have it here is you could pick the ROI, region of interest. There you go. And you can actually have the region of interest. That's what ROI stands for. And if you click on it to apply, you're only going to get that area. And it works with that. So if you don't want the ROI and use the actual square when you turn the exposure or the color, see, the color balance, for example, is helpful because it tells you here, you know, which windows you have open. If you got too many windows open and you don't know what's what anymore, it gets pretty confusing. Here, you're going to be able to see it all. Okay, it tells you what window I have open. White balance is one of them, and exposure is the other. So, you know, you got to shut down whichever bugs the crap out of you. And here, your image is back to where it was. Oh, man. Is this thing beeping? I didn't hear it yet. Oh. Maybe soon. Maybe we should look at another target. Actually, I don't want to. I want to stick on this guy. And the reason I want to compare cameras, the photo, I love that thing, but it's, for me, it's like Bernardo Cargi. Of course, it's like driving your favorite car. Okay, so I'm just going to keep an eye on this here. This one, ready to go. Focus. I may have to remove those rings. Yeah. Now see, I got 3 windows open here. You've got this guy for the Mallin guy. You've got the other one for the split cam, and the other one for NSN. It gets cluttered on the 16-inch screen. Man, it gets cluttered.
They use 2 screens in the invite.
Yeah. So what we're going to do, I don't know if you're taping that there, Jack, but right now we're still at 30-second exposure. And what we're going to do, and this is F9, by the way. Oh yeah, well, in the second dome here, one is going to do, I do have a 17-inch Alienware computer which I plan to revive and use again, but I'm shopping for a USB 3 because new cameras coming out are going to be USB 3s, and I'm going to need a laptop. In the other dome, I have a USB 3 computer, not a problem. Okay, so Jack, I don't know if you took images of that or recorded that. What we're going to do is shut this. Yeah, Bob, that's what I wanted to show you. It's all about the adjustment, Bob. You really need to find the sweet spot, get that proper dark field correction happening. And if I would have taken more than 2, this is only 2 I'm taking, if I would have gone for 4 or 5 of them, like everything being equal, it's just going to improve. And this is just a raw image, just the way it is. Okay, I'm going to stop this, and we're going to switch over to the Mallin XT418 with the Mallin capture device. And we are going to, no, I'm going to have to reboot NSN because we need to disconnect from split cam. Yeah, I think it does there, Bob. You're absolutely right on that one. Hey, Bob, I meant to ask you something there. I know you're into ham radio a lot. Have you ever thought to get together with a bunch of ham guys, talk about astronomy or astronomers that have their ham tickets, and join in on a net related to astronomy on HF? That might be something to consider to do, actually. I'd be in it. I'd love to get into it. Otherwise, I got to sell my ham gear. Too many hobbies. I'll talk to you about it, actually, Bob. That'll be a good idea to get together on the airwaves about that, and it'll get the dust off the old kilowatts and the ham gear. Okay, so what we're going to do, folks, we're going to come back on subject here, and we're just going to shut down. We're going to switch cameras. Steve, I hope you're still there. Give me a couple of minutes. I'm going to shut down everything here and plug the camera, the 428, and yeah, Bob, I'm looking for one of those. Don't you worry. I'll talk to you about it later. Okay, so sounds good, Steve. Thank you for being here. I'm going to show you what to expect from your other camera. It won't be the same sensor. The Exterminator has a the 828 sensor in it. It's the latest one. I'm using the older version, which is a 428. So we're going to shut this down. We're going to reboot NSN, and we'll be right back. So please stand by on this channel here, and we'll be back very shortly.